If you've had a fall or even a near fall, most people think the next step is pretty simple: recover, let the potential injury heal, and then move on with life. But it's never actually that easy. And as a home care physical therapist, I see what actually determines if someone stays independent following an event like this. What matters is something most people don't think about at all. It's how well you move after that fall. And that's what tells me if the fall was just an accident or potentially the beginning of a much bigger issue. When I walk in a house to see a patient after a fall, they usually start by telling me exactly how the fall happened, how they had usually never fallen before, and how frustrating their rehab stay was. All that makes sense, but it's not what I really care about in this situation. What I'm really trying to figure out is whether anything has changed. What they don't do is show me what they're working on to regain their capacity and strength to avoid ever falling down like this again. Injuries generally heal with time, but weakness and poor confidence will stick around forever if you're not proactive about making them better. The biggest predictor of future independence isn't a scatter rug in the wrong spot or whether they have a tub or a walk-in shower. It's actually the person's ability to move through daily life in a number of different ways, which I'm going to go through. And if you're more concerned about if you have a raised toilet seat rather than how well you can actually get off your toilet, now that's an issue. Sure, life can always be made easier for you. Raised toilet seats, lift recliners, even wheelchairs. In today's world, there's always new technology that allows you to do less and less. But the simple fact is that the less you do, the harder life is going to become for you. And too many people end up doing less and less, even after the first fall, without even noticing. So before you get to that point, here's what I look for. And why should you even care if you've had a fall or near fall? Well, adults who fall once are twice as likely to fall again. So that first fall is often a life-changing event, even if it doesn't seem like it at the time. So the first thing I'm checking is your ability to stand up, the sit to stand. It's shocking how many adults I see who think they're strong, yet struggle to do a few quality reps here. So can you sit down and stand up from a chair confidently, without hesitation, momentum, or any other signs of weakness? This is the most basic demonstration of leg strength because if you can't do this effectively, then everything else in your life will be difficult too. Most people do this dozens of times a day, but when it starts to become a task, that's when older adults stop moving as much and start spending more and more time sitting around. And that's when decline really starts to accelerate. If there's just one thing you take from this video, remember this: your ability to do a sit to stand is directly tied to your future independence. Because if you can't get off your toilet, you cannot live at home. After I've tested their ability to stand up, I move on to the scariest part of returning home after a fall for most of these people: the stairs. How confidently do they go up and down their stairs? This becomes even more important if they've fallen on the stairs because most adults who have had a fall on the stairs, they never want to do them again. But avoiding stairs forever is a recipe for weakness, not longevity. When they're going upstairs, I want to see if they can lead with each foot. Are they pulling on the handrail? Are they leaning forward with their trunk? Are they confident? Are they winded? All these things are very common, yet too many people write them off. They just say something like, "Oh, I only have to go upstairs to get in my bed at night." At that rate, stairs are going to continue to be difficult forever. So if you've had a bad experience on stairs or know someone who did, your solution isn't to avoid stairs. It's to become so confident that those stairs stop controlling your life. One of the other things people lose after a fall isn't their ability to walk. It's their ability to walk normally. Now, the interesting thing here is that I often know what someone will walk like just based on how they get out of that chair and how they go up and down the stairs. And I'm pretty confident that if you can go up and down your stairs effortlessly, your gait's going to be pretty confident as well. But I do look to see if they're taking short, cautious steps or if they're taking normal, long, confident steps that they're taking before. Because tiny, cautious steps after a fall are a common sight. The problem with that is caution doesn't guarantee that you'll never fall again, but it often does guarantee decreased activity levels. And I want to see if someone can increase their walking speed on command, or do they just not have the ability to do that? If they're using a cane, is their technique okay? These things all need to be addressed, and often the easiest answer is just building stronger, more confident legs. Lastly, how is their ability to do multiple tasks at once and without fatiguing? Can they hold the conversation and keep the same walking speed? Can they walk and turn around easily? Because a lot of falls don't happen while someone is walking straight, but while they're turning. Does a small dog or cat that is around completely throw off their gait? All these things are obvious signs of weakness that somebody needs to work on if they want to get back to their prior level. And if they're fatigued from these basic tests, that's equally concerning because fatigue itself is going to lead to more falls. I'm sure you can think of a time you might have tripped because you were number one, tired, and number two, just concentrating on too many things at once. So if you've fallen, don't just ask yourself if you're healed. Because after someone falls once, their chances of falling down again doubles. The better question to ask yourself is whether your activity levels and confidence have changed. And from there, figure out how you're going to return to be even stronger than you were before.